newspaper this morning. And the masthead on the Punch reads, serial outages, Dangote, NNPCL, total 247 firms dump discus, generate 6,500 megawatts. Operators blame poor supply for move. Federal government laments exit from national grid. Okay, so there's a lot more agencies that have exited the national grid. Francis, does this mean that the national grid now experiences some lesser weight and should be able to generate, or maybe the power available will now be distributed to more Nigerians? 247 firms, including the NNPCL of this country and Dangote, have dumped the discourse. We also see here California fire. Trump blames leaders for poor responses as 16 killed. APC opposition defer on INEC's 125 billion naira budget request. Stampede, Oyo files murder charges against Oni's ex-wife and others. We also see here Ogun housewife stabs husband to death for alleged infidelity. 80th anniversary GCU to honor Channels Television, Shell, Chevron bosses, others. We also have above the masthead again 16 civilians killed as NAF bombs Zamfara bandits. PDP factional secretary set for showdown vowed to resume today. NAF unveils rules to NAF unveils tough rules, I beg your pardon, to curb airmen's exodus. That's page 31 read. Last story here, how Qatar intervened to save me from Abacha's gulag, says Obasanjo. That's all on the Punch this morning.
Well, let's try to see if Doctor is able to get to hear us and we can hear him. Good morning, Doctor. Hello, Doctor. Good morning. Okay, still no response. Let's get still to the front page of the national dailies. The next paper we'll be looking at this morning will be the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper. And on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper, the screaming headline there, airstrike kills 15 in Zamfara. They are vigilantes, Governor. We killed bandits, Nigerian Air Force. That's a page 4 read. We see Lagos Calabar Road project missing in 2025 budget. That's page 54 read. Shake up in army. Oluyede moves to bolster anti-terrorism fight. Page 9 has details of the story. Minister Jega commends Zulum over ranches for headers. Page 46 has details of the story. Carter sought my relief from Abacha's detention. Obasanjo. Page 54 has details of the story. And those are the major stories you find on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper.
The Vanguard will be our next read, and the masthead here reads, OPEC quota eludes Nigeria amid rising oil output. We also see here why oil output rises. Okay, that's from Lopo Biri. We also have here pipeline vandalism, theft, others hinder output. Most oil spills caused by oil theft and sabotage, says Shell. NNPC, security agencies uncover 33 illegal oil connections. Investors go for new oil gas assets. We've introduced critical regulations, says NUPRC. Above that, we also see here PDP crisis, fear grips secretariat staff as activities resume. Okay, repentant bandits seek forgiveness over atrocities. Page 13 read. Okay, Emirship tussle, Bayero heads to Supreme Court. Christian elders charge Tinubu for attending Arab Islamic Summit. All right, page 8. Sarah dragged federal government gov to ECOWAS court over misuse of Cyber Crimes Act. All right. Last story here. Chile, NFF begs Nigerians to support him. If they don't want him, let him go. I'm sure this is something that Sports Central will, delve into, but that's all on the Vanguard.
Well, the next up this morning will be the front page of the Nation newspaper. On the Nation, the screaming headline, Federal Government Ministerial Panel to Enforce Council Autonomy. AGF to begin direct disbursement. Committees begins two-day meeting. Edun to brief President. That's page 4 read inside the Punch newspaper. Above the masthead, we don't owe First Bank 225 million US dollars, says General Hydrocarbons. Okay, that's in reaction to last week's drama that happened. Okay, that's a page 4 read. You find the details of that story there. Still on the front page of the Nation newspaper, INEC plans diaspora inmate voting. 2023 polls reviewed. Page 3 has the story. Okay, that's the INEC there. Recently, they talked about why there's need for the federal government to release more funds to INEC. And one of the things that I highlighted was repairs of equipment, continuous voter registration, among other things. Still on the front page of the Nation newspaper, NDLEA intercepts Australia-bound drug dealer. 1.1 billion naira codeine seized in Rivers. That's a page 6 read this morning. Still on the front page of the Nation. Nigeria partners Ethiopia's first securities exchange, page 13. Stampede, Oyo slams 18-count charge and Naomi others. Page 5 has details of the story. ISWAP, no cause for alarm, says Southwest State. Governor strengthens grassroots intelligence, reinvigorating Amoteco. That's still on page 4. Lawmakers seek special status for Lagos. Troops kill 25 terrorists in Zamfara. That's on page 5 and page 7, respectively. Recapitalization, bang mergers, acquisitions loom. Those are the major stories you find on the front page of the Nation newspaper.
And then we have Daily Times. I like the question here, Francis. It says, why Nigeria needs a focused leadership. Adum. It looks like our leaders, our leader is everywhere but here. So that's a read you really want to look into on the, Daily Times. We also have above the masthead, Soludo is Sun's 2024 Man of the Year. I'd like to know that. 2025 budget, NAS commends commission over performance, promises release of 20 billion naira capital project. Over 7,000 supporters back at Damawa APC, Doms Birani. Okay, how INEC chair gets NAS buy-in for 86 naira budget increments. Okay, I hope I did not miss a billion or a million there. Experts attributes weak economy to reform fatigue. Experts attribute weak economy to reform fatigue. We also have your NGX Group champions Africa's financial future at ESX launch. That's all the story on the front page of Daily Times.
Nigerian Tribune is the next stop this morning on the front page of Nigerian Tribune. The headline there says federal government probes rise in religious tension in Southwest. That's a page 22 read. And the writer there says operatives question Sharia proponents in Oyo, arrest traditional worshippers for desecrating Quran. Faction-led OPC wants Southwest governors to declare state of emergency on security. Okay, there's a lot of interesting things there to look out for. Still on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, above the masthead, home builders groan on the challenge of inadequate artisans, craftsmen. Oh yeah, this one is a serious issue. Okay, 5 years after Nigerian vehicle financing scheme may commence this month, newly adopted national automotive policy enters second year. Page 6 has details of the story. CBN woos diaspora investment with launch of two new products. Page 20 has details of the story. NLC seeks dialogue on tax reform bills. Page 3. Confusion, lamentation trail Lagos ban on single-use plastics. Page 3 has details. And the LEA seizes 6 vehicles, 40-feet trailer load skunk in Abuja midnight raid. Page 26 has details of the story. Ibadan Stampede court determines bail application today. Suspects may face fresh 18-count charge. Page 4. Soldiers killed over 25 terrorists destroyed Toji's camp in Zamfara. Page 26. After 2019 Supreme Court verdict, Erowa to begin selection process of new Oba. Page 28 has details of the story. PDP anxiety as two national secretaries resumed today. Opposing supporters spoil for war. That's page 3 read. Serious conversations on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, but that's all we can take from there.
Okay, that will be taking us to the papers for Akwa Ibom. New Nigerian will be our first stop. And the masthead here reads, CBN governor secretly recruiting children of big shots. Arewa youth alleged. Serious allegations right there. The children of the who knows who's all working in the CBN. All right, hospitals, clinics in Akwa Ibom guilty of organ harvesting. NAPTIP reveals. That's a strong allegation this morning, Francis. We also see here chess, that bomb in your hands, and masters of the game. Okay. We also have here 2025 will scale up infrastructure development in Delta. Oborie vows. Adamawa 7,000 Binani supporters dump her ahead of 2027. This is serious issues. Proposed tax reforms will worsen workers' plight in Nigeria, says NLC president. And it's also sad to see, Francis, that the NLC is not even like in full support of the tax reform bill. Stop parading as Etsu Nupe of Lokoja Groups 1 Monarch. Vandalization. Benue government urges vigilance to protect public infrastructure. We also see here Michigan State University delegation visits Gombe, evaluates site for agriculture faculty and innovation hub. Last story here, traditional chief priest in NDLEA net over illicit drug deal as agency seizes 6 vehicles, 40-feet trailer load of skunk in Abuja.
Well, that takes us to the next paper for Akwa Ibom. That would be the Global Accord. And the headline there says PDP endorsed Governor Eno as sole candidate ahead of 2027 gubernatorial election. Interesting tweets there. Community hails Governor Eno on sustainable development. That's the page 12 read. AKTC leaves passengers stranded after collecting transport fare. Okay. Xmas rise palliative polls in APC. Omoino's government is highly focused, says Monarch. Patriarch Ibanga reaffirms his commitment to prisons ministry. Still on the front page of the Global Accord, Akwa Ibom business community lobbies for trade and investment portfolio in Omoino's cabinet. Reacts to reports claiming that the governor has abandoned them. Page, okay, that's the page 4. Still on the front page with Global Concord, above the Mars head, Dr. Wisdom Enang offers economic projections for Nigerian year 2025. Economic Chairman sues for enhanced welfare for families of fallen heroes. YSFON extols Akwa Ibom state pillars of sports. Those are the major stories you'll find on the front page of the Global Accord. And just before we leave, in the local government area set space in rice production as Honorable Umar unveils a rice, performs groundbreaking for ICT hub, moves motion for Governor in our second term. Those are all the stories on the front page of the Global Accord for this morning.
Well, these are key issues, some of them really troubling in themselves, as issues continue to emanate out of the country. But I like the particular question in the Daily Times that Nigeria needs a focused leadership. So it looks like, generally part of a problem is not just in having bad leadership, but we do have leadership that is not focused, and there is no way to achieve development.